Hey, how's it guys? Dominic here from Bro RC Surfer. I just want to share with you a very important maintenance tip, and that is flushing out the water cooling system on our boards, be it a Bro RC Surfer or the Bro Bodyboard. You know, we got a water intake on one side, and we've got a water outlet on the other side, and it's imperative to keep this system clean. The whole survival of the board depends on the cooling when we're in the ocean. I mean, our motors can generate up to well over 1,000 watts of power, so that power needs to be cooled, seriously cooled. So we have an onboard ESC, the electronic speed controller, that's water cooled, as well as the motor itself that's water cooled with a water jacket around it. So we have to make sure that the water is able to flow around that. In the case of this system being blocked, the quality ESCs that we use will actually shut the system down to 50% of its power and enable you to retrieve the board back to shore without doing any damage. But the best thing is, as my grandfather would say, prevention is better than cure. So what I recommend and strongly suggest is that after every session you flush the system out. Now, what's important to remember here is don't flush the system in the way in which it flows. So don't go from the inlet to the outlet. What may happen, you might have a big piece of grit, a piece of shell, whatever stuck inside the system here, and if you try and force it through, you're going to jam it even more. So it's always best to back flush the system. So go to the side where your outlet is, where the nozzle faces backwards, using a little bit of water pressure. I'm using basically the pressure from our garden pump here, the water. You could use a big syringe, you could use a sauce bottle, you could use a small battery water pump. There's numerous things that you could use, but you want to have a little bit of pressure, not too much pressure. Just fit it over the nipple. Okay, and let it flow for a while. Besides pieces of grit, sometimes the salt solidity in the ocean can also be quite high, and that tends to build up in the system. So I generally just let this flow for 2 or 3 minutes, making sure that I'm washing as much of that out as possible, and that the system is working well, which will enable an efficient water cooling. If you don't do this, you might not have a blockage, but you will find over time that your system basically clogs up with that salt, and your system becomes less efficient. Your system runs hotter, your motor will be hotter, your ESC will be hotter, and due to that heat, you'll also be running a less efficient runtime. So a simple little solution: just get into the habit of, when you come back, just flush your system out straight away, like you would a jet ski, like you would your boat, whatever it is that you use in the water, and make sure that your water cooling system stays cool so that you can have a cool Bro Fun session. Lekker!